Hi, I'm Chad Finn, and you're watching The Huddle. This is a show where we'll bring you the highlights from the top high school football games in eastern Massachusetts each week. In week 2, we have a barn burner on the Cape, Mr. Gatorade going all scholastic, and some throwing finishes to wet your buds. Let's get right to it. In a packed house on the Cape Friday night, host Dennis Yarmouth's quarterback Matthew Montalto was all the rage. Montalto racked up 181 all-purpose yards against Barnstable. He threw 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 more while outdoing DJ Crook's 4 touchdowns to beat Barnstable 41-38. Chelmsford beat up on non-league rival Acton Bloxborough as Joe Gennaro piled up 202 yards rushing on 25 carries. But he never found the end zone. Instead, the Lions benefited from a strip fumble touchdown by defensive back Zach Hayes and this 18-yard tip pass for a touchdown to Anthony Andre. Number 9 Chelmsford won 13-0. Glen English gave a walloping to Winthrop Friday night. The Bulldogs' Melvin Tavares ran for 2 touchdowns and caught another, this 44-yard screen pass in which he showed off his 4.5 40. Glen English beat Winthrop 31-12. O'Brien fended off a Charlestown rally in the city to hold on for the 13-12 win. Eddie Bandolph and Chandler Ransom each had touchdowns for O'Brien. Billerica's Nick LaSpada continued to oppose his will. LaSpada threw 2 touchdowns and ran for 3 more as Billerica routed Woburn 41-14. Now we're going to stop and look at our game of the week in week 3. I've got Globe correspondent Mike Karaji here with me, and he's going to give us a breakdown on Xaverian, our number 1 team, and Brockton, our number 2, as they prepare to meet this weekend. Mike, are these 2 teams the 2 best in the state right now?
Absolutely, undisputedly the top 2 teams in the state. Brockton's led by senior quarterback Paul Mraz, who really came out of nowhere to give them an unexpected passing game. They normally rely on running back Trayvon Offley, who will be back this week after separating a shoulder in week 1.
Yep.
He missed last week's game. He said he's going to be ready for this week's game. Xaverian, meanwhile, is led by Chris Calvanese, quarterback. He's very fast. He has a great arm. He replaced reigning Player of the Year in Division I, Alex Phelan. And he hands off to Joe Colton, who's one of the best backs in the state as well. Also, they both have great defenses. The Lions are big, are strong. They both lost a lot in the Lions, but they return a lot of players as well, especially defensive backfield. And it should be a great game this weekend.
That's Mike Karaji bringing the insight there. It sounds like a remarkable matchup between our number 1 and number 2. Well, that's a wrap on this week's edition. For the latest on Eastern Mass football and more, visit boston.com/schools. He's Mike Karaji, I'm Chad Finn, and you've just watched The Huddle.